So just how free are citizens, really? Let's take a moment to compare civil rights in Canada, the United States and China. Imagine waking up one morning to find that your favorite book has been banned, your social media posts are under surveillance, and your right to protest has been revoked. This isn't a dystopian novel. It's the reality for many individuals around the world today. In the United States, the landscape of civil rights has been tumultuous. The hands-off protests, which erupted in April 2025, saw millions across all 50 states rally against policies perceived as authoritarian under President Donald Trump's administration. These demonstrations, involving over 150 grassroots organizations, highlighted concerns over cuts to social programs, immigration policies, and threats to constitutional rights. Simultaneously, the resurgence of book bans and curriculum changes in schools, particularly those under the Department of Defense, has raised alarms about censorship and the erosion of First Amendment rights. Canada, often lauded for its progressive stance on human rights, is not without its challenges. The federal government's Changing Systems, Transforming Lives initiative, launched in 2024, aims to address systemic racism and promote inclusion. However, Indigenous communities continue to face disproportionate violence and systemic barriers. A 2024 report by the Assembly of First Nations found that only 2 of the 231 recommendations from the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls had been fully implemented. Additionally, the rise of Islamophobia has prompted calls for stronger hate speech laws and increased funding for security measures at mosques. In stark contrast, China maintains a tight grip on civil liberties. The government's use of surveillance technology, censorship and arbitrary detention has created an environment where dissent is swiftly suppressed. In Tibet, authorities have shut down Tibetan websites, forced the use of Mandarin in schools, and relocated thousands from their villages, effectively erasing Tibetan culture and identity. The situation in Xinjiang is equally dire, with international hotel chains accused of contributing to the normalization of human rights abuses against Uyghurs. Furthermore, the national security law has led to the arrest of over 300 individuals since 2020, with many facing convictions for non-violent crimes. Despite these challenges, acts of resistance persist. In the United States, creative protest tactics and grassroots mobilizations continue to challenge authoritarian tendencies. In China, while overt dissent is risky, subtle forms of protest, such as incorporating messages into music or art, have emerged as alternative avenues for expression. These efforts, though often met with repression, highlight the enduring human spirit's desire for freedom and justice. In conclusion, the state of civil liberties in Canada, the United States and China reflects a complex interplay of historical, political and societal factors. While Canada and the United States grapple with internal challenges that test their democratic foundations, China continues to enforce strict controls over its populace. Yet, across all 3 nations, the persistent efforts of individuals and communities to assert their rights underscore the universal aspiration for freedom and dignity. As we navigate the complexities of civil rights in these nations, it's imperative to remain vigilant, informed and engaged. The fight for freedom is ongoing, and it requires the collective effort of citizens, activists and leaders alike.